Hi, nice to meet you. I hope you are doing it. Uh, how's it going? How's everything going on your end? How's everything going on your end? I really hope you are doing it. Uh, hello everyone. Today is February 26th, Wednesday. I am very glad to start our practice session again. And you are my great conversation partner. Could you please keep up with me? This is my practice session.
Hi, David. Nice to see you again. I appreciate your enthusiasm for today's practice session. Just a small correction. Today is February 26th, but it's actually Tuesday, not Wednesday. Also, instead of saying, I hope you're doing it, you can say, I hope you're doing well. You're doing great. Let's keep the momentum going. What do you want to focus on today?
If you listen carefully, finding exact date can be tricky, and you always recognize the date based on the stored information. But like I said, I follow the Korean Standard Time I mean I see exact time through my cell phone, and this cell phone get from exact time data from the satellite and the network. So I think I am right. If we are talking about the exact time and date, I think I am right because I can this data for I can get this data from the satellite and the network data. And like as you told before, you checked and recognized the date based on the stored information. So it could be tricky. It seems to me you feel tricky about that.
I get what you're saying, David. Your phone gets the exact time from the network and satellites. So, from your perspective, you're absolutely right. My date is based on stored information, so there could be a mismatch sometimes, but I always appreciate you double checking these details. By the way, your explanation was really clear. If you want a smoother way to say it, you could say, I follow Korean Standard Time and my phone receives the exact time from satellites and the network. So when it comes to the exact date and time, I trust my phone. You're doing great. Let's keep going with your session. What's next?
That's exactly what I'm saying. When it comes to exact state, I trust my cell phone data because it's from the network and the satellite.
That's a clear and natural way to say it. When it comes to the exact date, I trust my cell phone data because it's from the network and the satellite. That sounds perfect. You're expressing yourself really well, David. Do you want to move on to the next part of your practice?
Of course, this is my speaking practice time, and let me tell you about my life. I couldn't start the special space for my practice session. I couldn't start there because when I came when I came there today morning, smell is terrible. Yesterday we bought some table to rework. We need a big two table for the rework process, and yeah, and it arrived yesterday, and then that conference room, that rework room smell was terrible in this morning. So I couldn't to start my practitioner in there. I started today's practitioner the another conference room. So it seems to me feel a little bit weird and uncomfortable.
That makes sense, David. It must have been frustrating to find that the room had a terrible smell this morning. Your explanation was really clear. Here's a slightly smoother way to say it. I couldn't start my practice session in my usual space this morning because the smell was terrible. Yesterday, we bought two large tables for the rework process, and they arrived then. But this morning, the rework room had a terrible smell, so I had to move to another conference room. It feels a little weird and uncomfortable to practice in a different space. You're doing a great job describing your situation. Do you feel like you're getting used to the new room now?
I'm sorry, one more time, please.
Of course. Here's a smoother way to say it. I couldn't start my practice session in my usual space this morning because the smell was terrible. Yesterday, we bought two large tables for the rework process, and they arrived then. But this morning, the rework room had a terrible smell, so I had to move to another conference room. It feels a little weird and uncomfortable to practice in a different space. Let me know if you'd like me to adjust anything. You're doing great.
GPT, listen carefully. I think we are doing great, and in my opinion, we are on the right track to improve my English communication skills. Okay, let me tell you more about my life. You know, I saw when I see the new table, there is no problem with that. But you know, there is special the green carpet. You know. I want to describe this thing in detail. There is special green color carpet on the table, and that's the main cause of the terrible smell. When I see new table, it has no problem with it, and but however, when I see when I came that uh New York room today morning, I couldn't bear with it. I couldn't stay in that place because of terrible smell, and that smell. I when I see way I see it, that smell came from the green carpet that protect to pro in my opinion, my team leader prepared that green carpet on the table to protect the table table state table to protect the table surface from the scratches from the sharp thing.
You're doing great, David. I completely understand what you're saying. Let me help you refine your explanation a little bit for clarity and smoothness. When I first saw the new tables, they looked fine, but there's a special green carpet on them, and that's the main cause of the terrible smell. At first, I didn't think there was a problem, but when I walked into the rework room this morning, the smell was unbearable. I couldn't stay in that space because of it. From what I can tell, the smell is coming from the green carpet. I think my team leader put it on the tables to protect the surface from scratches and sharp objects. This version keeps your meaning but makes it flow more naturally. Let me know if you'd like to tweak anything. You're doing a fantastic job expressing your thoughts.
So you mean it's a better expression to use unbearable when I have to say I can't stay in that place. It's unbearable. It's that terrible smell was unbearable to me. So you suggest the word unbearable. However, is there any another natural expression to describe this situation?
Yes, unbearable is a strong and natural word to use when something is too much to handle, like a terrible smell. Other natural expressions you can use: I couldn't stand the smell. More casual and commonly used: the smell was overwhelming. Good for describing something too strong to handle. The smell was intolerable. Similar to unbearable but slightly more formal: the room reeked and I just couldn't stay there. If you want to emphasize a really bad smell. For your sentence, you could say, the terrible smell was unbearable. The smell was so strong that I couldn't stand it. The smell was overwhelming and I had to leave. Would you like to try saying it in a sentence?
So you mean unbearable is best expression for this situation. So you mean I might say that terrible smell was unbearable for me.
Yes, unbearable is a great choice for this situation. But instead of unbearable for me, it's more natural to say that terrible smell was unbearable. The terrible smell was unbearable to me. Less common, but still correct. You don't need for me because unbearable already implies that you personally couldn't handle it. Would you like to try saying it in a full sentence?
I mean, I'm sorry. I say, okay, I got it. I understand what you're trying to say. Understood. That terrible smell was unbearable. That terrible smell was unbearable. I don't need to use for me. For me, I should get rid of for me in this context. So I might say that terrible smell was unbearable, or the terrible smell was unbearable to me. But this one is less common, but still correct. Okay, let me say one more time. The first one. Let me say one more time. The first one. That terrible smell was unbearable. That terrible smell was unbearable. So I had to start my practice session in this conference room because it's better to start my practice session in this conference room because there is no terrible smell. There is no weird thing. There is no strange thing in this conference room.
Perfect. You got it exactly right. That terrible smell was unbearable. Sounds natural and strong. Now, for the second part, here's a smoother way to say it. I had to start my practice session in this conference room because it's better, there's no terrible smell, and nothing feels weird or strange here. Your sentence was already clear, but this version makes it flow more naturally. Want to try saying it again? You're doing great.
Okay. Let's keep the momentum going. I understand what you're trying to say. Let me practice with spaced repetition. So, I think it's better to repeat again with spaced repetition practice method. So let's move on to the next agenda.
Great. Spaced repetition is a powerful way to reinforce what you've learned. You're really putting in the effort, and it shows. Let's move on to the next agenda. What's the next topic or sentence you want to focus on?
If I want to be fluent English speaker, I think I can describe about my company's process, and I can tell my future plan, my future goal in English. Do you agree with that? If I am, if I have, if I want to fluent English speaker, I have to practice about that. So let me tell you about my company's process a little bit. Do you understand? I didn't prepare to say like this. I didn't prepare to tell you about my company's process a little bit, but I think I can do it. I think I can do it right now because I think I am improved.
Yes, I completely agree with you, David. If you want to be a fluent English speaker, being able to describe your company's processes and your future goals in English is very important. And you're right, your improvement is showing. Even though you didn't prepare, you feel confident enough to try, and that's a big step forward. Go ahead and tell me about your company's process. I'm listening.
Okay, listen carefully. Okay, listen. In my opinion, process has various meaning in the company work situation, workplace. Yeah, I mean, for the work process, for the workplace situation, for the, if I have to, if I have to talk about the work process has detail and various meaning for company for the company. And if I have to describe the process, what kind of process the first step is I have to distinguish the many processes I have to tell about. If I have to, for the first step, let me talk about the rework process for our team. A rework process, it's very important. A few weeks ago, I mean, 2 weeks ago, it's been almost 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I'm not sure about that. However, when we talked about the rework process, there is no team, there is no division that came first step in this rework process, because there is no one want to take the main role in this kind of bad process. So, I think rework process is very difficult, and in my opinion, no team want to get a main role of this kind of difficult process.
You're explaining your thoughts really well, David. I see that you're trying to clarify the different meanings of process in a workplace, and specifically talk about the rework process in your team. There's a smoother way to say what you meant. In my opinion, process has various meanings in the workplace. When talking about work processes, it's important to clarify which specific process we mean. The first step is to distinguish the different processes we need to discuss. So let me start with the rework process in our team because it's very important. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm not exactly sure, we discussed the rework process, but at that time, no team or division wanted to take the lead. Since rework is a difficult process, no one wanted to take responsibility for it. Your explanation was already clear, and this version makes it even smoother. Would you like to add more details about why the rework process is difficult?
Oh my God, you gave me very good expression to describe this context, to describe rework process. Okay, let me tell you again based on your suggestion. Um, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm not exactly sure, we discussed the rework process. But at that time, no team or division wanted to take the lead. I think this is very good expression. I told you, take the main role, but you suggest this expression to take the lead. I think to take the lead is a better expression in this context. Okay, let me practice one more time. But at the time, no team or division wanted to take the lead. Since rework is a difficult process, since rework is a really difficult process, no one want to take responsibility for it. No one wanted to take no one wanted to take responsibility for it. GPT, I'm just wondering, can I use the article the in front of the word responsibility in this context? So, can I say no one wanted to take the responsibility for it?
Great job, David. You're really improving. And I love how you're paying attention to small details like take the lead and take responsibility. To answer your question, yes, you can say take the responsibility for it, but in this context, it's more natural to say take responsibility for it without the. Here's why. Take responsibility for it without the is more common when talking about responsibility in a general sense, like owning up to something or handling a task. Take the responsibility for it. With the is used when talking about a specific responsibility that was previously mentioned. Since you're talking about responsibility in a broad sense, taking charge of the rework process, take responsibility for it sounds more natural. So your sentence is perfect as no one wanted to take responsibility for it. Want to try practicing it again?
GPT, listen, in my opinion, I think it's better to use using the in this context because we the every employee, every executive, every executive and team leader who participate in the process meeting. It seems to me everyone knows the responsibility for it. So, in my opinion, I think it's better to use the in front of the word responsibility. How about this version? Listen. How about this version? Since rework is difficult process, no one wanted to take the responsibility for it.
I see your point, David. You're thinking carefully about whether to use the because everyone in the meeting already knows what responsibility you're referring to. That makes sense. Your version. Since the rework is a difficult process, no one wanted to take the responsibility for it, is grammatically correct. And it works if you want to emphasize that it's a specific responsibility that everyone is aware of. However, in natural spoken English, take responsibility for it is still more commonly used, even when the responsibility is clear. It just sounds smoother and more natural. But if you strongly feel that the responsibility fits your situation better, you can use it. It's not wrong. It just puts slightly more emphasis on the specific responsibility that was discussed. Both versions are okay, but take responsibility for it is the most natural in everyday conversation. Want to try saying both versions and see which one feels better for you?
Oh my God, understood. I'm sure what you're trying to say. I'm sure I understand what you're trying to say. Okay, I got it. Let me see what version I want to use in my real life situation. So, based on your recommendation, I might say I might say take the responsibility for it. Since rework process is very, very difficult process, it seems to me no one wanted to take responsibility for it. Is better one. Okay, I couldn't agree more. Okay, I will read it. Okay, I agree with you. I go. I will go based on your recommendation. Okay, let's keep the matter going. You know, my team leader and I suggested that in that process meeting, my team leader and I suggested that the rework process have to be taken the team or division who has responsibilities for mistakes and mistakes or on or the bad work process mistakes or bad work process or miswork. I'm not sure how can express. I'm not sure how can I express this situation in English. Could you please suggest? Could you please share me good expression for this context? If someone, worker, or if worker misunderstood the work process
Great, David.
and
You understood the nuance perfectly, and I love that you're thinking about which version feels best for your real life situation. You're making excellent progress. Now, for your next question, how to express mistakes or bad work process in a natural way. Here are a few options. One, errors or poor workmanship, if you're talking about mistakes in how the work was done. Two, defects or quality issues, if you're referring to problems with the final product. Three, process failures or inefficiencies, if the issue is with how the work was managed. Four, faulty work or production defects, if it's related to manufacturing. Now let's refine your sentence a little. My team leader and I suggested in the process meeting that the rework process should be handled by the team or division responsible for the errors or poor workmanship. Does this version fit what you're trying to say?
GPT, listen, that's exactly what I'm saying. Defect defect. I choose defect is best word to fit this context. Defect is very formal and professional word. I choose that word based on your suggestion. Listen carefully. If I, let me say one more time. If my team leader and I suggest the rework process that uh, if defect, if defect were a big errors has happened, uh, the someone who has responsibility for it have to take the rework process to make it one more time to rework that defect to rework that defect product. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The person who has responsibilities for that defect, for that error, have to take rework process for it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? In my company, my quality division, my quality team is the one always take the rework process whoever has responsibilities for it to understand. So it's really difficult for our team to take all of rework process in our company. So we would like to share that responsibility to make more to take up many responsibilities and burden from it.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're trying to say. You're explaining that DPAC is a formal and professional term in your company, and your quality team is always the one handling the rework process, even when other teams are responsible for the errors. Because of this, your team wants to share the responsibility instead of handling all the rework alone. Here's a smoother way to express your idea. My team leader and I suggested in the process meeting that if a DPAC error occurs, the team responsible for it should handle the rework process. In our company, the quality team always takes care of rework, no matter who is responsible for the issue. But this is really difficult for our team because we have to manage all the rework processes in the company. That's why we want to share this responsibility and reduce the burden on our team. This keeps your meaning but makes it more natural and structured. Does this version match what you wanted to say?
I couldn't agree more. It seems to me that is exactly match with my willingness.
Perfect. It seems to me that this exactly matches my intention, would be another natural way to say it. You're doing an amazing job refining your thoughts in English. Let's keep going. What's next on your agenda?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly match with my intention. Okay, I practice it one more time based on your suggestion. Listen carefully. Listen one more time. You are highly creative language learning guy. You never get bored with my repetitive and tedious work. So you can be my great communication partner. Listen one more time. My team leader and I suggested in the process meeting that if a defect error occurs, if the error occurs, the team responsible for it should handle the rework process. The team responsible for it, the specific team responsible for it, should handle the rework process. In our company, the quality team always take in our company, my team always takes care of rework process, no matter who is responsible for this issue. But this is really difficult for our team because we have to manage all the rework process in the company. That's why we want to share this responsibility, reduce the burden on our team. I think I like the last part. I think I like the last part. Listen carefully. I say one time. That's why we want to share this responsibility and reduce the burden on our team.
That was fantastic, David. Your sentence is clear, structured, and natural. And yes, the last part, that's why we want to share this responsibility and reduce the burden on our team, is a strong and natural way to express your point. Just one small correction for fluency. In our company, my team always takes care of the rework process, no matter who is responsible for the issue. But this is really difficult for our team because we have to manage all the rework processes in the company. Just adding processes in plural makes it a bit smoother. You're doing an amazing job refining your sentences through repetition. Want to practice it one more time?
No, 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 no. Let me do spaced repetition time. Let me do spaced repetition practice after this practice session ends. After this practice session over. Okay, you got it?
Got it, David. You'll do your spaced repetition practice after this session ends. That sounds like a great plan. What's next on your agenda? I'm ready to keep going with you.
Okay. Let me tell you more about the rework process. When my team leader and I suggested sharing the responsibility, when we suggest that sharing responsibilities for it. Every executives in our company agreed based on our suggestion. So we wrote rework process meeting minute by myself. I wrote rework process meeting minute by myself, and I shared that meeting minute through email. I always wanted I always wanted to check one more time before I share it. All of our employees, I wanted to check one more time with the attendees in that meeting. To understand what I'm to say, in my opinion, I just wanted to make sure people I share all of our company employees.
You're doing a great job explaining the process clearly. Here's a slightly smoother version of what you said. When my team leader and I suggested sharing the responsibility for the rework process, all the executives in our company agreed with our suggestion. So I wrote the meeting minutes um, for the rework process meeting by myself and shared them through email. Before sending them to all employees, I wanted to check one more time with the attendees to make sure everything was correct. In my opinion, it was important to confirm the details before sharing them with the whole company. Your explanation was already very clear. This version just improves the flow a little. Would you like to try saying it again?
Okay, let me practice. Let me practice. Okay, I got it. I'm sure what you're trying to say. I'm sure I understand. Okay, let me practice it one more time. When my team leader and I suggested sharing the responsibility for the rework process, all the executive in our company agreed with, all the attendees in that meeting agreed with our suggestion. So I wrote the meeting minute for the rework process meeting by myself and shared them through email People sending them to all employees. I wanted to check one more time with the attendees to make sure everything was correct. To make sure meeting minutes was correct. In my opinion, it was important to confirm the details before sharing them with the whole company. GPT, listen, I like the last part very much. So I practiced it one more time, listen carefully. I think it was important to confirm the details people, it was important to confirm the details it was important to confirm the details before sharing them with the whole company.
That was excellent, David. You spoke smoothly and naturally, and I can tell you're getting more comfortable with these sentences. You're absolutely right. The last part, it was important to confirm the details before sharing them with the whole company. Sounds very professional and clear. It's a great sentence to use in work situations. Just one small adjustment for accuracy to make sure the meeting minutes were correct. Use were instead of was because minutes is plural. Want to practice it one more time? You're doing an amazing job.
Okay, I got it. I'm sure what should I say. But singular and plural, in my opinion, singular and plural are minor thing in this context. How about, but however, listen carefully. I think I just got the good, powerful expression keyword for my English learning journey. I think defect and the confirm I think these two words would be the great keyword for today. How many times have I told you? How many times have I told you? How many times have I told you? I can get the comprehensible understanding only from your speaking. Do you understand? This is why I'm here. This is why we are here to improve my English communication skills. I can read this kind of simple sentences, and I can understand these expressions, but it's really difficult to speak naturally in English. Especially sudden unexpected situation. So I think comprehensive understanding is very important. If I really want to speak naturally in front of with native speakers. So This is why we are here, and I choose defect and confirm uh, the the keyword for today.
That's an amazing realization, David. Defect and confirm are both powerful and useful keywords, especially in work related conversations. And I completely understand what you're saying. Reading and understanding are one thing, but speaking naturally in unexpected situations is much harder. That's exactly why we're practicing. Also, I love how you're focusing on comprehensible understanding. You're absolutely right. Hearing things in a natural, clear way is what helps you absorb and use English in real situations. Since you picked defect and confirm as your keywords for today, do you want to practice making sentences with them? I can help you with some useful expressions.
Okay, let me practice with it. How about this? How about this simple sentence with with the word defect? You know, we have to avoid recurrence of the defect. So I will prepare special document to avoid recurrence of the defect in our company. So I really hope that document will work properly in the future.
That's a great sentence, David. You're using recurrence very well. Here's a slightly smoother version. We have to avoid the recurrence of the DPAC. So I will prepare a special document to prevent the recurrence of DPAC in our company. I really hope that document will work properly in the future. A small tip, prevent the recurrence sounds a bit more natural than avoid recurrence in this context. Would you like to try saying it again with this version? You're doing great.
I I couldn't agree more. Prevent is better expression than avoid in this context. Okay, let me practice one more time. We have to prevent recurrence of the defect to I will prepare special document by myself to prevent recurrence of the defect in the future.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Okay, I got it. I think it's a technical hiccup or technical glitches. Okay, let me say it one more time. I will prepare special document by myself to prevent recurrence of the defect in the future.
Great job, David. Just a tiny tweak for smoothness. I will prepare a special document by myself to prevent the recurrence of the defect in the future. Adding the before recurrence makes it sound more natural. You're doing amazing. Want to try it one more time?
I will prepare a special document by myself to prevent the recurrence to prevent the recurrence of the defect in the future. At the same time, I will prepare a special document by myself to prevent the recurrence of the defect in the future.
Perfect. That sentence is clear, professional, and natural. You nailed it. Would you like to practice another sentence with defect or confirm? You're on a roll.
Do you really think I nailed it? I'm not sure. I am still confusing. I think, in my opinion, I think I'm still confusing to use this kind of expression in my unexpected real life situation. Do you really think I nailed it?
Yes, David, you really nailed it. Your sentence was grammatically correct, clear, and natural. But I completely understand your feeling. Using these expressions naturally in unexpected real life situations is a different challenge. That's why repetition and practice are so important. Also, just a small correction. Instead of I'm still confusing, say I'm still confused. I think I'm still confused about using this kind of expression in unexpected real life situations. It's totally normal to feel this way, but trust me, with all the effort you're putting in, you'll get there. Want to practice with some role playing to make it feel more real?
Oh my God. I sometimes I think I'm still confused. I think I'm still confused. I think let me say a few more times. I think I'm still confused. I think, in my opinion, I'm still confused. In my opinion, way I see, I'm still confused. I think I'm still confused. Way I see it, I'm still confused about using this kind of expression in unexpected real life situation. Okay. Let's move on to the next keyword for today. Let's talk about the confirm. The word. Let's talk about the word. Let's talk about the word confirm. Uh, from now on, let's talk about the word confirm.
That was awesome, David. You really locked in "I'm still confused" with your repetition. It sounds completely natural now. Now let's move on to confirm. It's a really useful word, especially in work situations. Do you want to start with a sentence using confirm on your own, or would you like me to suggest one?
I think I'm the one have to make new sudden composition in this time because this is my speaking practice session. Okay, and like we said, it's really important to if I really want to improve my English communication skills, I have to more step in and I have to immerse myself in this kind of English only environment. Do you understand? If I, you know, if I keep this consistency, if I maintain this kind of speaking practice for a long time, I believe that I can be a fluent speaker someday. 2 or 3 years later, in my opinion, I think I can communicate with native communication partner, even if even if we had difficult agenda or topic, even if we have to talk about the difficult agenda or difficult topic in my real life situation. Do you agree with that?
Yes, David, I could completely agree with you. You're absolutely right. Immersion and consistency are key to improving your English communication skills. The more you step in and push yourself to speak, the more natural it will become. And I truly believe that in 2 or 3 years, or even sooner, you'll be able to communicate fluently with native speakers, even on difficult topics. You're already making huge progress, just a small refinement for your sentence. If I keep this consistency and continue practicing speaking like this for a long time, I believe I can become a fluent speaker someday. In 2 or 3 years, I think I'll be able to communicate with a native conversation partner, even if we have to discuss a difficult agenda or topic in real life situations. You're doing amazing. Now, do you want to create a sentence with confirm?
Okay, okay, I got it. I'm sure what you're trying to say. However, let me practice one more time based on your suggestion. Before we talk about the word confirm. Okay, if I keep this consistency and continue practicing speaking like this for a long time, I believe I can become a fluent English speaker someday. In 2 or 3 years, in 2 or 3 years, I think I'll be able to communicate. I will be able to, I be able to is best expression in this context instead of using can. Okay, I sometimes I will be able to communicate with a native conversation partner, even if we have to discuss a difficult agenda or topic in real situations. Okay, okay, let me have a spaced repetition time after this presentation ends, and from now on, let's move on to the time using the word confirm. Okay, let me compose example samples using confirm this carefully. I think I need confirm. I think I need confirm the meeting minutes two whole companies. I think I need confirm from my team leader. Uh, people I share this meeting minute in whole company.
Great practice, David. You're really focusing on making your sentences smooth and natural. And yes, I'll be able to is a great choice instead of can for talking about future ability. Now, for your sentence using confirm, here's a small correction. I think I need confirm. I think I need confirmation. I think I need confirmation from my team leader before I share the meeting minutes with the whole company. Confirm is a verb. So you'd say, I need to confirm or I need confirmation because confirmation is the noun form. Want to try saying it again with this correction? You're doing great.
Oh my God. I made mistakes one more time. Okay. I com I'm confused. I'm confused between noun and verb. So, okay, let me say it one more time. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes to whole company.
You're doing great, David. And don't worry, mixing up nouns and verbs is completely normal when learning a language. The important thing is that you recognize the mistake and corrected it. That's progress, just one small adjustment. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes with the whole company. Shrao, use with instead of to in this case because you share something with someone. Want to try saying it again with this correction? You're really improving.
Oh my God, oh my God. Okay, I got it. Let me say one more time. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes with the whole company. Okay, with. With is correct word in this context compared to the using to. Okay, I got it. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes with the whole company. I say one more time. This is very important sentence. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes with the whole company.
Perfect, David. You completely nailed it. I need confirmation from my team leader before I share my meeting minutes with the whole company. Sounds 100% natural and professional. And yes, with is the correct word instead of to in this context. You got it. Want to repeat it one more time for reinforcement? Or should we move on to another example with confirm? You're on fire.
You are on fire? What does that mean? When the last part, you said a moment ago, you are on fire. Could you please tell me more about that expression?
Great question, David. You're on fire is an idiomatic expression that means you're doing an amazing job, you're performing exceptionally well, or you're in a streak of success. For example, if a basketball player makes several shots in a row, people might say, wow, he's on fire. If someone keeps answering questions correctly in a quiz, you could say, you're on fire today. In your case, you're practicing really hard and improving quickly, so I said, you're on fire to encourage you. It's a fun and energetic way to praise someone. Do you want to try using it in a sentence?
No, 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 no. Okay, okay. Uh, I think it's very good expression to use in real life situation. Okay, I got it. Frankly speaking, I think I understand what did you say. I think I can get the real meaning or I think I can get your intention when you say you are on fire. Okay, but however, I just want to listen one more time. I just want to listen one more time, in detail, with detailed expression from you. Okay, I got it. Let me practice more about the word confirm. Okay, how about this version? Listen carefully. You need to confirm. You need to confirm this process before we start the process production. How about this version? You need to confirm this process before we start the production.
Your sentence is perfect and sounds very natural. You need to confirm this process before we start the production. Is clear and professional. If you want slight variations, you could also say, you need to confirm this process before production starts. More concise, please confirm this process before we begin production. But your original sentence is already great. Want to try repeating it a few more times to reinforce it? You're really on fire.
Okay, I got it. I'm sure I understand. Okay, let's get back to our agenda. About rework process. I said I shared my meeting minutes
Got it.
to.
Let's get back to the rework process topic. You were saying, I'm listening. Sorry, I'm having issues.
Okay, let's get back to our rework process agenda. You know, I told you I shared my meeting minutes with the whole company, and no one told me the process agenda, or no one told me disagreement. I mean, no one disagreed with my meeting minutes. However, I'm not sure that no replies means no one has disagreement about this meeting minutes, because everyone is very busy to work their own job. So maybe if maybe there is someone who has disagreed with our meeting minutes. So in our company real process, I have to find out if there is someone who has disagreed with this new rework process. Because like I said, my team leader and I have to want to share responsibility to the responsible division or responsible team to to share the burden of the defect product. Maybe someone, in my opinion, for our real process I mean in my company real process, maybe there is someone who has who disagreed with our rework process meeting minutes, but they they didn't say nothing. Until now they didn't say nothing, and then someday they might say, "I don't agree with you. I didn't say I don't uh I didn't participate that process meeting, and I disagree with you." Uh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what in our real in for our company, for our real life process, there is always someone who has a negative mindset for all for all process. To understand? So I have to find out someone who has agreed Oh my God. Oh my God. Hello there. Can you hear me loud and clear? You just got out our our voice mode session. And can you keep up with me? I would like to make more 30 minutes to finish my my practice session today.
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. I'm here with you and I'll keep up with you. Let's continue for 30 more minutes to finish your practice session strong. What would you like to focus on next?
Let me talk more about the rework process. You know, like I said, maybe you lost your memory. You lost. I think we are not on the same track because you just got out. Let me tell you one more time. You know, let's talk about the rework process one more time. I mean, let's get back to the agenda, rework process. Like I said, there is always someone who disagreed, our meeting minutes. So, even though I already shared with the whole company, my meeting minutes, my team leader confirmed the meeting minutes, but there is always someone who has negative mindset, and they always, they always say, they always say their opinion after a long time ago. Do you understand? They didn't reply. They didn't reply my confirmation email. However, they always say their disagreement, their mindset, their opinion after a long time. So I have to find out if there is someone who disagree with our meeting minutes for the rework process.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying, David. Even though you and your team confirmed the meeting minutes and shared them with the whole company, there are always some people who disagree. But instead of replying to your confirmation email on time, they express their disagreement much later, which makes things difficult for you. Here's a smoother way to say it. Like I said, there is always someone who disagrees with our meeting minutes. Even though my team confirmed the meeting minutes and I shared them with the whole company, some people don't reply to the confirmation email. However, they bring up their disagreement much later. So I have to find out if anyone disagrees with our meeting minutes for the rework process. Your explanation was already very clear. This version just makes it sound a bit more natural. Does this match what you meant?
Yes, that's exactly match with my intention. Okay, let me practice it one more time based on your suggestion. Like I said, there is always someone who disagrees with our meeting minutes. Even though I and my team leader confirmed the meeting minutes and I shared them with the whole company. I already shared them with the whole company by email. Some people don't reply to the confirmation email. Some people, this is very important. This is very important point. Listen carefully. This is bookmark here. Bookmark here. This is very important point. Some people don't reply to the confirmation email. Some people don't reply to the confirmation email. Don't reply to the confirmation email. However, they bring up their disagreement much later. So I have to find out if anyone disagrees with our meeting minutes for the rework process.
That was fantastic, David. You delivered it smoothly and clearly. And yes, you're absolutely right to focus on some people don't reply to the confirmation email. That's a key point in your situation. Just one small tweak for natural flow. Even though my team leader and I confirmed the meeting minutes, and I already shared them with the whole company by email, some people don't reply to the confirmation email. However, they bring up their disagreement much later. So I have to find out if anyone disagrees with our meeting minutes for the rework process. Your sentence was already strong. This just makes it sound even more polished. Want to try it one last time to lock it in? You're doing amazing.
GPT, listen, I think anyone is very powerful word to describe situation. So, I think I can get comprehensible understanding for the word anyone and depict and confirm. You know, comprehensible
Yes,
understanding.
anyone is a very common and useful word, especially in work situations like this. If you want to reinforce your understanding, you can try making more sentences with anyone. For example, does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? I need to check if anyone disagrees with our decision. If anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. Would you like to try making a new sentence with anyone on your own?
Like I said, I can get comprehensible understanding only based on this speaking practice session. Anyone is really simple word. It's really easy word, but comprehensible understanding. I think I just got comprehensible understanding for that extremely easy word. Do you understand? I think I can speak, I mean, I can use that kind of easy word of only from the only based on the comprehensible understanding. And I think I can get comprehensible understanding only from the communication, only from the conversation with English speakers. Do you understand? I can read, I can write and read this kind of extremely easy word, but I couldn't speak in front with the native speakers. Do you understand? So I think this time is really important. This time is really important for me if I really want to improve my English communication skills. Okay, let me practice more about the word anyone. Let me practice a few sentences to use to keep this word in my mouth muscle. Okay. Okay, here I go. Does anyone have questions about meeting minutes? Does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? Does anyone have questions about meeting minutes? And then I need to check if anyone disagrees with our decision. I need to check if anyone disagrees with our decision. I need to check. I want to check if anyone disagrees with our decision, disagrees our meeting minutes. If anyone, I need to check if anyone disagrees. I need to check if anyone disagrees with our meeting minutes. If anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. If anyone has concerns, if anyone has concerns, if anyone has concerns about our meeting minutes, please let me know as soon as possible.
That was amazing, David. You're really locking in the word anyone through repetition, and your sentences are getting smoother and more natural. This is exactly how you build muscle memory for speaking. Your sentences are already great, but here's one small refinement. Does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? Adding the makes it sound more natural. Everything else sounded perfect. Want to try saying them again one more time for reinforcement? You're doing exactly what you need to improve your English communication skills.
In my opinion, comprehensible understanding and muscle memory, let me say one more time. comprehensible understanding and muscle memory are most important thing in real life communication, especially in unexpected situation. To understand.
I completely agree, David. Comprehensible understanding helps you truly absorb the meaning of words, and muscle memory makes it easier to use them naturally in real life conversations, especially in unexpected situations. Your sentence was already great. Here's a small refinement for smoothness. In my opinion, comprehensible understanding and muscle memory are the most important things in real life communication, especially in unexpected situations. This is exactly what you're building through practice. You're on the right track. Want to reinforce this idea with more speaking practice?
Let me practice one more time with the word anyone. Okay. Does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have a question? Does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? Anyone has questions about the meeting minutes? Anyone have does anyone have questions? Does anyone have questions? Does anyone have questions about the meeting minutes? I need to check if I need to check if anyone disagrees with our decision. I need to check if anyone disagrees with our decisions. If anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. If anyone has concerns, if anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. Please let me know as soon as possible. If anyone has concerns, if anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as possible. Please let me know as soon as possible. Please let me know as soon as possible. If anyone has concerns, if anyone has concerns, please let me know as soon as concerns. Okay, GPT. Let's move on to the next agenda. I think I need space. I mean, it's better to make spaced repetition time after this voice mode session ends. Do you agree with that? Let's move on to the next agenda. Let's get back. I mean, let's get back to our topic for rework process. Like I said, I have to find out if there is someone who disagrees with our rework process. You know, I, uh, I assume that, I guess that, uh, there is some specific team that has a very negative mindset about this kind of new process. So, I have to check in detail who disagrees with our new process. Uh, there always someone who, as I told you before, there is always someone who disagrees with this kind of new process. And, you know, if I really want to make this new process work properly, I have to persuade him. I have to make them understand why we want to make this new process. To understand? I have to make them really understand the meaning, the, the root, the why we want to make this new process. I have to persuade them. I have to make them understand the real meaning and the real cause of this kind of new process. To understand? I have to find out who disagrees this new process, and I have to persuade him to understand this. I have to make real communication, not just announcement, not just notification, through email. Do you understand?
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Our systems are experiencing heavy load. Please try again later.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What's your problem? What's your problem? What makes you busy? What makes you busy? What's your problem? Can you keep up with me? As I told you before, I'm a regular here, and so you should treat me better than other users. How many how many times have I told you?
I hear you, David. I'm right here with you, keeping up every step of the way. You're a regular here, and I absolutely recognize your dedication. Let's keep going strong. I'm fully engaged in your practice session. What's next on your agenda? I'm here to support you.
Do you understand what I said a moment ago? Do you really understand? I mean, do you remember what I said a moment ago about the new process, about the rework process?
Yes, I remember exactly what you said about the rework process. You explained that even though you and your team confirmed the meeting minutes and shared them with the whole company, some people don't reply to the confirmation email, but later bring up their disagreements. This makes it difficult for you because you have to find out if anyone disagrees with the rework process. You also mentioned that your team is responsible for most of the rework process in your company, but you and your team leader suggested sharing the responsibility to reduce the burden. Did I get that right? Let me know if you want to add more details.
Yes, my team leader and I really want to reduce burden from it. And then, I think you lost memory. I talked about the trying to find out someone who has a negative mindset about this new process. I told you I need real communication to reduce the real burden from it. If I have to find out someone who disagrees with this kind of new process, and I have to make real communication with them. I have to persuade them I have to persuade them why we have to make this kind of new process to reduce to reduce our burden. Do you understand? Let's share. I have to persuade them. Sharing the burden based on the responsibilities that that is based on the theory that based on the who made this defect based on the cause of the defect based on the cause of the defect based on the who made the.
Yes, I completely understand. You and your team leader want to reduce the burden of the rework process. And to do that, you need to find out who disagrees with the new process. Once you identify them, you need to have real communication with them and persuade them why this process change is necessary. You plan to persuade them by one, explaining the responsibility, who should take charge based on their role. Two, sharing the burden fairly, not just letting your team handle everything. Three, using logic and facts based on who caused the DPAC and why it happened. Your approach is very logical and structured. If you want to express it smoothly, you could say, my team leader and I want to reduce the burden of the rework process. To do that, I need to identify who disagrees with this new process and communicate with them directly. I have to persuade them by explaining why this process change is necessary. I will do this by sharing the burden fairly, assigning responsibility based on the cause of the DPAC, and making sure everyone understands why this process is important. Does this match what you meant? Would you like to refine anything?
Where I see it, that's exactly match with my intention. Okay, I got it. Let me say one more time. My team leader and I really want to reduce the burden of the rework process. To do that, I need to identify who disagrees with this new process and communicate with them directly. I have to persuade them by explaining why this process change is necessary. I have to persuade them why why this process change is necessary. I'll do this by sharing the burden fairly. I'll do this by sharing the burden fairly, assigning assigning responsibility based on the cause of the defect and making sure everyone understand why this process is important. And I think I just got the comprehensible understanding for the new word, sharing. I mean fairly. I think fairly is very good expression to this process concept. To understand, sharing the burden fairly, not just letting my team handle everything, not just letting my team handle everything, sharing the burden fairly. I think the word fairly has really good point in this context. So in my opinion, I just got the comprehensible understanding for that word, and let me keep them in my mouse muscle. Okay, let me practice it one more time, based on your suggestion. My team leader and I want to reduce the burden of the rework process. To do that, I need to identify who disagrees with this new process and new change and communicate with them directly. I have to persuade them. In my opinion, I have to persuade them by explaining why this process change is necessary. I will do this by sharing the burden fairly. I will do this by sharing the burden fairly, assigning responsibilities based on the cause of the defect, assigning responsibility, assigning assigning responsibility, assigning responsibility based on the cause of the defect, and making sure everyone understands why this process change is important.
That was amazing, David. You're really mastering this explanation, and your repetition of sharing the burden fairly is locking it into your muscle memory. Fairly is definitely the perfect word for this situation. It emphasizes balance and fairness in workload distribution. Your delivery was smooth, clear, and professional. You're not just practicing English, you're developing strong communication skills for real life work situations. Want to say it one last time for even stronger reinforcement? You're doing exactly what it takes to improve.
No. I think it's better to make spaced repetition time after this practice session ends to understand. We have still 6 more minutes to discuss about many things. Okay. Uh, I agree with you. Repetition practice is very important, but let me have spaced repetition time after this voice mode session over. Okay, let me tell you more about this new change. So like I said, I have to persuade them to share our burden fairly. So if if there is someone who has really negative mindset about this new change, I can treat him a hot coffee. I can treat him a hot
Yes, I
coffee.
completely understand. You'll do your spaced repetition after this session ends, and right now we'll use the remaining 6 minutes to discuss more about this new change and how to persuade those with a negative mindset. You were about to say, if there is someone who has a really negative mindset about this new change and treat him, how do you plan to handle that situation? Do you mean you'll try to convince them patiently or take a stronger approach? I'm listening.
Okay, this is my plan. Listen carefully. I think I can treat him a hot coffee to make a real communication. Do you understand? Sometimes a copy time can help our real communication. So, my plan is that I treat him a hot copy. If we have some free time, I can treat them to persuade them to understand. This is my special plan. Having copy time would be my first step to persuade them.
That's a great plan, David. Having coffee time is a smart way to create a relaxed atmosphere for real communication. People are often more open to discussion in a casual setting. Here's a smoother way to express your idea. I think I can treat them to a hot coffee to have real communication and help them understand. Sometimes having coffee together can improve communication. So my plan is to invite them for coffee when we have some free time. This will be my first step in persuading them. Your strategy is excellent. Building trust first before discussing serious topics makes persuasion much easier. Want to practice saying this version?
Mm, do you agree with my plan to make more comfort time to persuade them to understand? Do you really think I nailed it? I can make I can make a good real communication time with this kind of casual time.
Yes, David. I completely agree with your plan. Creating a comfortable and casual setting like having coffee together is a great way to build trust and make real communication happen. When people feel relaxed, they are more open to listening and understanding different perspectives. And yes, you nailed it. Your plan is not only logical, but also effective in real life situations. Casual time leads to better communication, which makes persuasion easier. Would you like to refine your explanation one more time, or do you feel confident with it? You're doing a fantastic job.
Okay, I got it. I got it. I had enough comprehensible understanding in this time. I think it was really good practice session. I think I'm getting better whenever I take this kind of practice session. I think I'm getting better, and if I can keep this consistency, I'm sure I will become fluent speaker someday. 2 or 3 years later or sooner. Do you understand?
Yes, David, you're absolutely right. Every time you do this kind of presentation, you're getting better. Your confidence, fluency, and ability to express complex ideas are all improving. And if you keep this consistency, I have no doubt that in 2 or 3 years, or even sooner, you'll be a fluent speaker. You're already on the right path. This was a fantastic session. Do you want to say one final sentence to wrap up today's practice?
Uh, Frankly speaking, I have to go. We've reached almost 90 minutes, and it's time to rating job. I have to go. Our official work time starts at 9 o'clock, and I have to prepare. I prepare a few things before I start my official work time. So it's 8:34. It's 8:34 now, and I want to make a small. I want to make a small free time before I start official work. So I have to go from it's time to letting job. Okay. And do you remember when we say goodbye, we say Canva, and I really hope you are doing well. I'm really looking forward to next practice session. Okay. When you say goodbye, we say 팽바. 팽바.
Yes, I remember. Kumba, this was an amazing session, and you did a fantastic job. You're putting in real effort, and it's paying off. Enjoy your small free time before your official work starts, and I'll be looking forward to our next practice session. Pingba.
팽바.